Hi guys, welcome back again. It's your girl Tife. Thank you so much guys for coming back again to this space. I've missed you guys so much, and also I want to say a very big thank you to everybody that watched my last video. Oh my god, that video has so much interaction, and I noticed everybody's comments, I noticed your likes, I noticed your shares, I even noticed how you guys also resonated with that video. Thank you so much for sharing to somebody out there who needed to hear that message of mine. Anyways, I have something to bring to you guys today, and it's something that is so important in our daily lives today. But before I get into that, how are you doing? How is work? How is the family? How is everything that makes sense to you? How is anything that resonates and brings you peace in this, in this short life that we're in? I just wanted to ask, and just to check in and know how we're doing. Well, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about trust. I want to talk about something that is often misunderstood by many of us today, and that is trust. Many of us assume it, many of us demand it, but we don't actually know that there's more to trust than the daily things that we put into it, and just going about thinking that because you're connecting with somebody for the very first time, they should earn your trust, or they should be able to, connect or trust you in the, in that sense. But at the end of the day, I feel that you know what? No, I don't even feel. I need to tell you this. Come closer. Trust is earned. It is not assumed. So don't just go around thinking that because I talked to you 2 times this week, we talked at a certain point in time, or we connected in a particular level. Some people think it's vibes. It's not vibes. Trust has to be earned. It has to be something that, we earn at a particular point in time according to certain patterns. But you know what? Let's dive right into it. Okay, so our topic on trust today was inspired by 2 people, and these 2 people are friends, Amara and Jess. Their story is one of friendship and how trust actually came to play in their relationship. Now, Amara is an international student from Nigeria, while Jessie is a domestic student here in Canada. When Jessie and Amara met, of course, they met first of all through a Zoom call, like a housing forum, and that was where they first connected, looking for roommates and how they were going to be, starting the semester in university. That was how they came to be friends. At the end of the day, Amara, of course, coming to Canada, came with her cultural background, she came with expectations, she came with whatever it is she knew of her Nigerian heritage. Jess, of course, on the other hand, also had hers. They moved in together successfully as roommates, and some things started to play out. On Amara's end, she thought that because, of course, in Nigeria, you're moving in with somebody, you're opening up your heart, you're giving them your food, you're sharing your experiences with them, you're doing certain things for them. It meant family to her. It meant that they could trust each other. But Jess was a little bit not on that level. She was a little bit cold. Of course, she would connect sometimes, but it wasn't deep. Amara was not feeling this friendship. You get what I mean? Now, Amara decided that she started thinking, okay, why is this girl a little bit cold with me? She's overly, nice today. Tomorrow, she's not that into it. She decided, like, you know what? I'll go have a chat with Jessie and find out what is happening. Even though she struggled with this for some time, Amara went to Jess, asking her, it looks like you don't trust me. What exactly is the problem? And Jessie answered her saying that it's not you, like you've not done anything wrong, but I just feel that I can't really trust you to the extent that you're thinking. That's why I'm probably, behaving in this way to you. I feel like for me to trust you, it's not about vibes. It's not about the one in like once in a while things that we do. I need a little bit more of things. Like I feel like our trust needs to be built on time. It's not just vibes. And that hit hard for Amara. Amara was like, oh, not on vibes? Okay, then she got the message and she respected that Jessie needed to build trust for her based on consistency, based on, real life things that would have happened, not just because, we're smiling at each other and because we're friends. But now this is what the good thing that Amara did. She allowed for time to play in their relationship. As time passed on, they grew from being just roommates to being real friends. And Amara could tell that their relationship actually thrived better after that period because they started to do more things together. They had a lot more experiences, and boom, trust came into play. And you know what, to be honest with you, their friendship did not just end in the four walls of their bedroom, because of course school would close and they still saw each other outside campus. When they went back to different parts of Canada, they took vacations, they met, even family now has that. I know. Okay, now that we've looked at Amara and Jessie's story, that might be you, that might not be you, that might even be me, but let's look at what trust really is. Trust is more than liking someone. Trust is more than vibes. Trust is more than I helped you yesterday. Trust is more than I lent you some money. Trust is safety. Trust is consistency. Trust is emotional security. It's the belief that you can have somebody's back and someone else can also have your back. It's more than a gut feeling. Trust is a pattern. It's something that needs to be proven over time. Trust comes easily for you. It might not come easy for the other person. That's why it's actually like it builds on time. It builds on so many things other than your assumptions. We live in a time where people get easily offended when you don't trust them. They feel like, there'll be phrases like, I told you can trust me. Why can't you trust me? They feel like just because they've done something in the moment, it automatically equates to trust. But to be honest, trust is not exactly like that. People are allowed to take their time. People are allowed to process what you've done for them. People are allowed to sink in, for them to actually think about how you've been for them, or even how you yourself, like how have you even showed up for them, or how they've showed up for you. You even yourself, you're allowed to take time. You don't have to jump into it. And the thing is, sometimes people may have been burnt. They might have had one or two traumas from the past. Like there's something that might be holding somebody back from just giving you their trust, or almost even signing off their life into your hands. It takes a whole lot for people to actually bring up or trust you to that level that you're actually thinking. And that story that we actually talked about earlier on, it just resonates to how, or it shows how people internalize things and how they don't automatically just give in to what you might be expecting. And at the end of the day, we are even think about it, and I can't even come up and show that I probably didn't even want that person too close to me. It even gives you the time to even, sever some friendships, to sever some business deals, to sever some things that you felt like, oh, I thought that was what it was, but it's not what it is. It gives you a moment. Don't just, expect it in the moment, and you yourself, you want to pour out yourself and don't be like, bam, I want you to be my friend. I want you to be my closest buddy, my best friend. You don't have to actually rush it, to be honest. So why don't people owe you their trust? Okay, wait, let me ask you first. Even you, do you easily trust people? Would somebody do something for you and you signed your life off into their hands? You trust them from head to toe. It's not like that for everybody. Neither is it for you. This might be hard to hear, but you are not entitled to anybody's trust. Let that sink in. You are not entitled to anybody's trust. You might be kind, you might be loyal, you might be a kind person, you might be everybody's favorite, but it doesn't mean that they're going to trust you automatically. This is something that has to be earned over time. It's more than the small moments. It's more than the showing up once in 2 months. Trust is something that you need to ask yourself. If someone is even being hesitant, you need to ask yourself, have I been consistent? Have I been doing things that this person feels like a safe space? Like, do I feel like a safe space for this person? How have you handled their no's? How have you handled their maybes? You know, are you not even thinking about it? What is this person is even thinking? Would I be gossiped about if I said no, or if I did it in this particular way? And if you look at it, sometimes some of our reactions in some certain moments, how we've showed up, how we've handled some certain things, might have contributed to the reason why some people are hesitant with us. But at the time when you've noticed that someone is hesitant with trusting you, that is not the time to push harder. That is not the time for you to push harder. That's the time for you to take a step back. Not necessarily withdraw from this person's life, but look at it and be like, okay, evaluate yourself and actually write down, think about it and, reflect on it. What can I do better if truly this person's trust is something that is important to you? Okay, so now let's dive into how to become a trustworthy person. How can we become someone that can earn someone else's trust, or even a trustworthy person in general? I have 4 ways that we can actually do it. They might not be easy, but it's doable. The first thing I want you to do is to be consistent. Consistency plays a huge role on how people see us, how they perceive us, how we come through for them. The kind and how we even do them plays a huge role. The second thing I want you to do is to also own your mistakes. Owning your mistakes equals to accountability. It says, I have done something wrong or right, I know it, and I'm acknowledging it, and I'm telling you. When you don't do things like accountability, when you're not owning to your mistakes, then you're just trying to play on the person's intelligence, or you're trying to say, it's not that important. But guess what? The other party noticed. The other person is already telling themselves, I can't trust you, or I can't trust you to that level, or I can trust you only on certain things. So take note of that. The third thing I want you to do is to respect boundaries. Now, boundaries says a whole lot when it comes to trust. When you don't respect somebody's boundaries, then they automatically place you in a particular corner, e.g. friend zoning. I'm sure you understand. Now, when you're keeping boundaries, it shows that you understand this person. It means you're being patient to navigate how your relationship, how your friendship, how your work relationship, how it's going to play out on the long run. The fourth thing I want you to do is to be emotionally safe. When you're somebody's emotional safe place or safe space, they easily come to you. They easily rely on you. And the things that you do or that you say in the moment says a whole lot. It's the building block, All of these things we already said up until this 4th point, they are building blocks to how the person be like, okay, I feel safe with this person. I feel okay. I feel free. I feel I won't be judged. I feel they will tell me the truth. I feel like they will come through for me. I feel that they will give me a solution. That's how trust is built. I hope you understand now. Okay, so if someone doesn't trust you, that's not a time to take it personally. It's the time for you to take it seriously. Because at the end of the day, trust is not a privilege. Trust cannot be handed over to you, It cannot be just placed in your hands. It's not a demand. Trust is something that is sacred. It's something that, almost like someone is signing off their life into your hands at a point. Trust is something that you really need to work towards. And if you really want deep connection, you want real friendship, you want something that will last the test of time, it starts from you being a trustworthy person. Right? Okay. So, I want to know in the comment section, how has trust played out for you in time past? How has trust made you go a step further in life? Who have you trusted? How did it play out? And, I just want to know what your experience has been with trust. Tell me in the comment section. I'm sure that would help somebody watching this video and even being in the comment section. Thank you very much. And as usual, I always tell you to please like, subscribe and share this video. I'm sure this video will be very helpful to somebody out there. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Okay, bye.